和着诗歌，求主差遣我们传扬他的爱，因为我们渴望看见他的荣耀彰显在全地。透过教会的建造，职堂倍增，还有透过营商宣教。那这就是我们今天下午2堂的聚会的主题哈。那所以我们就把时间交给 Dr. Steffen 还有邱老师。
Sometimes we have snow in Idaho.
我住在 Idaho， 有时候那边会下雪。这是老师养的马。
Another modern-day movement that has taken place that has really pulled in a lot of the laity is business as mission.
另外一个在21世纪的宣教运动，动员了非常多的平信徒，这个运动称为营商宣教。
Business people wanted to do more than just write checks. They also wanted to be involved in business's mission that would incorporate evangelism and discipleship and church planning.
那有越来越多的基督徒的生意人，他们不再甘心于就是写张支票去支持别人的宣教运动，他们自己也希望用他们的这些才干技能，能够直接的参与在宣教工厂上面布道门训，还有领袖训练等等的工作。
They wanted to provide some service or some goods that could be helpful for the lives of people.
他们希望能够为当地的人能够提供一些的服务来帮助他们。
And earn a living while they're doing it, and be able to use those funds to help other people as well.
不但为自己能够在那个地方营生，而且能够在那里盈利。借着这些利润，能够造福当地的百姓。
As I mentioned earlier, one of the reasons I was hired at Biola was because of church planting. They wanted to track a number of courses that would deal with church planting.
昨天我也说到，当初我被Biola 所聘用，就是要在Biola那边能够有一个新的 program。关于职堂宣教的这个部分，
So we made a second course that we made was called Church Planting Models and Strategies.
那我当时教的第2门课程就是职堂还有宣教的策略。
And in that class, we looked at a number of different models, and one of those we were calling at that time tent making.
当时有很多的策略，当中的一个称为支帐篷。
So I invited Ruth Siemens, who was at the U.S. Center for World Missions, to come and speak upon that topic of tent making.
我就邀请当时在 U.S. Center for World Mission 美国普世宣教中心的这个 Bruce Siemens 来讲这一门课。
And she was one of the first real tent makers that was using her education to go. She went to Spain, she went to different parts of Europe, and then she went to South America. And she taught as a teacher, and she would use those opportunities then with her students to be able to communicate Christ to them.
当时他的支帐篷的角色是借着教学，他在东欧、在西班牙，后来在南美洲。就借着他的应该是在大学里面教书的方便，然后向他的学生传福音。
And she would then come back to the States and set up the first tent making organization that existed.
回到美国以后，他就创立了第一个这个支帐篷的训练中心。
So when I found that out, I said, "Would you come and talk about tent making to the class every year for me?"
那我知道了以后，我就请他说：“你可不可以到我的课堂上来分享你的这个支帐篷的这个侍奉？”
And so she did that, and so I got to learn a lot about tent making and the way she saw it, and it was very helpful also to the student body.
所以他来跟我们分享，那我学到很多，我的学生们也有很好的学习。
Eventually, she had a sickness that would take her life, and then she passed on. And then I'm thinking, okay, now what do I do? Who do I bring in to speak on this topic?
但是后来他因为生病了，就去世了。去世以后，我在想，那我现在要找谁帮忙来教这门课呢？
By then, Biola had started a new school called the School of Business.
那刚好在那个时候 ，Biola 就成立了这个商学院。
And somehow I heard that one of their new faculty was very interested in missions, and so I approached him, and his name was Steve Rundle.
那这个商学院有一位教授叫 Steve Rundle， 那后来我就找他，就是后来写的那本书哈。
So I asked him, would you come and talk about, at this time now it's called businesses, or it would be called business's mission, but we were still using tent making, but not real fond of the term.
那么等我请这个 Steve Rundle 来教一起来教这门课的时候，当时的这个典范又慢慢在转移从支帐篷慢慢又转到称为营商宣教，business as mission。
So he said, yes, I'll come, and so he did that, and so we did this for a number of years, and he would speak on tent making that will become a different name, but he would speak on that to the class.
所以我们就这样合作了好几年每次这门课的时候，这位商学院的教授就来跟我们讲这个营商宣教。
And I was fascinating is what he taught about using business as a means to promote Christianity, to promote the kingdom of God globally.
那我同样非常的印象深刻，就是他怎么样借着营商，借着一些事业体来扩展神的国度。
So he'd been doing this for 3 or 4 years, and then one time when I introduced him to the class, I just turned to him and I said, "We ought to write a book on this."
那后来他又在我们的班上有一天我就拍他，我说我觉得我们应该要合写一本书。
I was just kind of joking, and then he never said anything, and so I, never thought about it for a while.
那么对啊，我本来他这样听一听，好像面无表情，好像觉得我是开玩笑哈，但是后来事情继续发展下去。
And then the beginning of one semester, I get a phone call.
那有一个学期呢，我就接到一通电话。
I pick up the phone and it's Steve Rundle.
那是 Steve Rundle 打来的。
Can you come over to the office for a little bit?
请你过来到我办公室来坐一下吧。
Sure. What's going on?
怎么样？好啊。
I want to show you something.
那我要给你看一些东西。
Not like McElwain.
跟那个 McEwan 不一样。
And so I go over to his office, and he hands me a yellow pad of paper with a bunch of notes on it.
那么他这个 Steve Rundle 就给我看看，他上面有一些黄色的这个，好像这个 sign name 的 sticker， 这样写了一些 note。
Read that, see what you think about it.
然后他就说：“来，你读一读，看看你觉得怎么样？”我就
That was really, really good.
我就边看在他那个笔记上面，我越看越有兴趣，写得很好啊。
That was the outline for the book, Great Commission Companies.
那这个它上面写的其实就是后来我们出了一本书，叫做《大使命公司》的这个大纲。
So that began a different direction in my life.
然后后来就开启了我人生的另外一个方向。
And what we want to do is have him for the business side of it and have me for the mission side of it and integrate those two.
那么后来呢，就是他比较着重在写这个事业营商的那个部分，那我就比较着重在写宣教的这个部分。
That's not always common in universities where you have different departments working together.
那个在一个大学里面，这个不同的科系的教授这样合作还不是很常见。
Administration loved it, but the schools were like, I don't know.
在行政上面是没有问题哈，但是这个要实际在操作的时候是有一点技巧的。
So our next job then was to find a publisher.
那之后我们就要去找个出版社了。
So we wrote up a proposal, and we sent it to IV Press, University Press.
那么后来我们就写了一下我们这个出书的计划，然后就提交给校园书房。
And they liked it.
在美国的校园书房，他很有兴趣。
And then they said, Urbana is an 04, and this was like the end of 02.
那当时这个 Urbana 的青年宣道大会2004左右吧。那我的那个写作计划是差不多2002年提出来。
So we would like it done before Urbana, so we can give it out there.
那我当然很希望在这个青宣之前能够推出。
Writing a book like this in that short a period of time was very difficult.
在这么短的时程之内，要把一本书完成，其实压力蛮大的。
We did manage to get it done, and it was then previewed there or debuted, I should say, at Urbana that year.
那后来我们的确就在2年之内就把它完成，然后在这个 Urbana 的青年宣道大会当中，我们就发表。
So I want to give us some history and look at the background of Business's mission, how it kind of evolved into this new movement. They've always been doing Business's mission, but it became a new movement again in the the early 2000s or the last of the 90s.
那我待会就开始要介绍一下这个营商宣教它的一些缘起，还有后来逐渐的发展。在90年代的末期，一直到21世纪初怎么样蔚为一种风气。
So we'll take a look at it, and then I want to apply it to the Chinese side of things as well, because I think Chinese are known as the Jews of the Orient, right?
当然我这当中也会用一些华人的例子因为这个华人号称是东方的犹太人嘛
They know how to make money.
他们很懂得怎么样赚钱。
And I have a feeling that God is going to use them in a different way, not just for their own building of their own wealth, but building creation wealth.
而且我有信心，他们将来上帝的引导绝对不会只是为自己赚钱，一定会用在神的国度。
I want to begin by a quote out of a book that was written in, notice the year, 1969.
我要引用一本书上的话，那他这本书是1969年出的。
So in 1969, George Miley said this: "The concept of a missionary businessman is foreign to us."
当时这个作者 George Miley 说，宣教士的生意人这个概念对我们实在是太奇怪了。
In 20 years, this would be outdated.
那在20年之后，他这句话就要送进博物馆了。
It would only take about less than 2 decades for that whole thing to change, and thinking about business's mission would become very common in the Christian world.
因为才在短短的20年之间，营商宣教变成非常热门的一个主题，有很多人在从事。
And this, of course, would open the door for many laity now to become involved in missions around the world as they take their businesses here and there.
那这个运动真的说来是一个平信徒的运动，因为有很多的平信徒这个生意人，他们就把他们的借着生意的平台带他们到全世界各地去宣教。
I just met with two pastors last week.
我遇到两个牧师哈，上个礼拜。
And we talked a little bit about this topic of business and missions, and it was interesting to watch this, particularly the one pastor. He didn't have a good feeling for that. Business people like to run our churches on the boards because they have money. And so they like to use their power to drive the church in the directions that they think are good.
上个礼拜我就跟两个牧师有一点交谈，那其中有一位对生意人，这个他的形象觉得不太好，他觉得他们有钱，所以会控制我的董事会。
So among some pastors, there's the feeling that business people are just a little bit suspect.
所以对有一些牧者，他们对生意人好像都不太信任。
Well, one of the questions we could ask: What has often driven missions?
那我们接下来就是要谈一谈，那推动宣教的常见因素有哪一些？
And one of the things, of course, is economics.
其中一个很重要的一个因素，当然就是经济了。
Churches don't exist without money.
教会没有钱是没有办法成立的。
And so pastors actually do need business people to help donate, to help keep things going.
那也的确，牧师其实是很需要这些生意人的奉献，然后来让教会可以继续的运转。
They can use their funds as a power tool, but it does happen, but that's not necessarily the norm.
当然他们可以用这些营商的资本他们这个生意人的奉献的钱来作为一个很有用的工具让教会可以发展，但是这种方式也不见得是唯一的标准。
Notice I didn't start with the Christian world in relation to using economics that led to missions.
那我刚刚讲到这个宣教，其实我还不是从这个基督教的宣教开始讲。
Islam used the selling of merchandise to not only gain money and funds, but to what? Spread their religion around the globe.
因为最显著的例子就是伊斯兰教，他们的生意人到处去，那他不只是赚钱，他更是一个传播伊斯兰教的非常重要的一个途径。
So by the 8th century, they're in the Sahara Desert at this point.
在第8世纪的时候，他们就已经扩展到撒哈拉沙漠。
And they called them merchants with a message.
伊斯兰教称呼这些穆斯林的商人是带着信息的商人。
They weren't just merchants, or they didn't just have a message. They put the two together, merchants with a message.
他们不只是商人，也不只是有信息，他把这个商人跟信息两个结合在一起。
That gives them a legitimate role in society.
那他们无论到哪里去，他们都有一个合法的一个身份。
Oftentimes, missionaries that do not have a role as a teacher, as a business person, as a medical person, they're kind of like, what is your role? What do you do here?
很多时候，这个宣教士到一个宣教工厂去，四周人总是会觉得怪怪的。你如果没有一个老师的，或者是生意人，或者什么样的一个身份，那大家就问你是怎么活下来的？你怎么会在这里？
By the 13th century now, the Sufi movement has moved into Asia, Africa, and now the Balkans.
那在伊斯兰教到了13世纪特别是苏菲派的，他们就已经推展到亚洲、非洲还有巴尔干半岛。
And then by the 15th century, we've now entered South Sahara.
到了15世纪的时候，就已经推进到非洲撒哈拉沙漠以南。
Just like the Bible does not use the term church planting or church multiplications or church planting movements, it doesn't use the term business's mission.
那么就像在圣经当中，你不会找到职堂这样的字眼，同样在圣经当中，你也没有找到所谓的营商宣教这样的字眼。
It does use the term tent making, though.
但是圣经的确是有这个织帐篷的例子。
Any Bible examples that we could look at?
有什么例子呢？
Remember this lady, Lydia?
那这位是谁呢？这位是吕底亚。
Sold purple, right?
她是卖紫色布匹的。
Purple fabric that she would buy and sell and make money that way, and that's how she took care of her family.
当然她就是卖的就是紫色的布匹，用当时很昂贵的一种染料，然后盈利。
So when Paul arrives there and goes down on it's Sabbath day, so they go down to the river, and they're about to speak to a group, and one of the persons in that group is Lydia.
那大家知道，在使徒行传的第16章，当保罗去到腓立比的时候他想要到一个祷告的地方去向那些人来传道当中有一个姐妹，有一位女士，就叫做吕底亚。
And so Luke tells us she was a businesswoman. She was from Thyatira, and she made her living by buying and selling that fine purple fabric.
所以这个14节说，有一个卖紫色布匹的妇人，名叫吕底亚，她是推雅推拉城的人，素来敬拜神。保罗就去到那边去传福音。
She's a true worshiper of God, and she listened to Paul, and she was very interested in what he had to say.
她是一个敬拜神的人，听见了保罗的信息，很有兴趣，那主就开了她的心窍。
And so the Lord opens her heart to be able to take in that message and be very enthusiastic as to what she heard.
那主开她的心窍，然后她就变得很热心，一家都领了喜。
And one of the things she did afterwards was invite Paul and his company to have a meal together. She was hospitable. She wanted to share her wealth with those people who brought her blessing from the Word of God.
之后他就求保罗跟他的同工们说：你们如果以为我是真信主的，那请到我家来住。他就用他的财富来款待、来接待这些神的仆人。
One of the clear pictures of people involved in a business's mission would be Aquila and Priscilla.
那一个更清楚的例子是在使徒行传18章3节，这个雅居拉跟百基拉夫妇。
And they would do this on a full-time basis.
他们两位是全时间在织帐篷的。
We can trace them in Acts where they went. They went to 3 different cities. They went to Rome, and then they went to Ephesus, and then they went to Corinth.
你只要稍微查考圣经就知道，他新进从罗马那边来，然后也去过3个城市就是罗马、以弗所跟哥林多。
And in each of those cities, they started a church.
然后每次到一个城市呢，他们就开始一个聚会。
So 3 cities, 3 churches.
3个城市就3个教会。
By this couple here that were actively involved in business's mission.
所以这对夫妻呢，是雅居拉跟百基拉是非常的积极投入在营商宣教。
We find Paul also involved in business's mission by working part-time. He didn't work full-time. When his funds got low, he would say, okay, I need to go work, get a job, and make some income so me and my team can make it.
那么保罗他在织帐篷，他应该是一个代职的状态，就是他主要是在职堂在建立教会，但是他资金不太够的时候，他就说我得去织帐篷了。
So in Acts 18:3 it says, he, referencing Paul, was a tent maker as they, Aquila and Priscilla, were.
那这个18章的3节说，他们本是制造帐篷为业啊，保罗因与他们同业，就和他们同住做工。
He says, I've not coveted anyone's silver or gold or clothing.
他在后来曾经讲说，我这双手，我从来没有贪图你们当中的一个人的金银财力。
You yourselves know that these hands of mine have supplied my own needs and the needs of my companions.
他说我这2只手常常供给我和同人的需要，这是你们自己知道的。
He goes on to say in 1 Thessalonica 2:9.
我们接下来是在帖撒罗尼迦前书第2章的第9节。第2章第9节那边说：“弟兄们，你们纪念我们的辛苦劳碌，昼夜做工，传神的福音给你们，免得叫你们一人受累。”
Paul was not afraid to work to earn his own living when he needed to do so.
保罗从来不害怕要亲手做工，然后为自己赚取生活费。
He was somewhat bivocational.
他可以说是一个双职的一个仆人。
But by working a regular job, you learn something about life. You learn something about the people, if you're a pastor, what your people do on a day-by-day basis. Experience.
因为有这些工作经验，其实蛮好的，因为你就会知道。一般弟兄姊妹他每一天大概要怎么样过生活
Dave English summarizes it up this way.
Dave English 他这样说哈
By working for a living, he set a pattern of lay witness and lay ministry.
借着工作要养家活口，那他就设立了一种典范就是为这些平信徒的见证跟平信徒的侍奉设立了一种典范。
Paul could speak with authority about on-the-job evangelism because why? He did it.
因为保罗可以可以带着权柄的这样说就是代职的所谓的职场的宣教，因为他自己就是这样的例子。
He was much more than just a theologian.
他不只是一个神学家。
He genuinely depended on his earnings.
他当然是100%需要依靠他自己的这个双手所赚来的钱来养生。
He knew what it was like to be at the end of the day and be tired.
他也知道工作了一天之后会累的。
He also knew what it was like to be cheated by his customers.
有时候被别人在生意上被骗了，他这个经验可能也是有的。
And to wrestle with ethical issues.
然后可能要对这些经商的伦理，他也可能会碰触到。
Is this bribery or is this just friendly relationship that we're building?
那这个我现在送的这个算是贿赂吗？还是我们这是建立关系用的基金？
Paul could say this. He could say that you don't understand. Nobody could say this about Paul. Paul, you don't understand what it's like to have to work every day, 5 days a week, 40 hours a no, he would.
没有人敢对保罗说。哎呀，保罗，你不懂啦，你不知道我们一天这个朝9晚5工作5天的这个感觉是什么？没有人敢这样对他说。
Do you see why Paul's pastoral heart could be stronger now? Because he was actually identified with what the people have to do on a day-by-day basis, and therefore could communicate in ways that would be much stronger and more applicable to their situations.
所以我们看到 为什么保罗他的这个牧者的心肠，甚至可以表现得更好，因为他非常能够体会他的会友们每一天的工作的这个常态。
Any historical examples of business and churches out there?
那在历史上面有没有一些什么这个例子关于营商，然后跟建立教会的这样的例子呢？
Have you heard of the Nestorians?
大家有没有听过聂斯多流这个派别？
Back in the 600s.
在就是公元差不多600年左右
And they would go out as groups. They would have to be self-supporting. Nobody was funding them, so they had to make their own living as they went out and moved into various areas to promote the gospel.
那么这个就是唐朝的景教，他们很多的基督徒借着营商，因为没有人支持他们，他们就边做生意就边传福音，把福音一直往东传。
Do you remember for the Nestorians where they went and how they got to where they went?
Oh, I already told them.
Oh, you told them. You're not translating right. Yeah, there we go. You anticipated.
那么他们后来这些人去了哪里呢？这些人去了中国的哪里呢？
Yes, they followed the Silk Road trade routes, and that's where they would go.
他们的确就是沿着丝路，后来就到了中国的长安。
Much like Paul did the Ignatian Highway, they follow that because they know if they plant something here, people are coming back and forth.
就像保罗当初他在传福音，也常常都是沿着这些罗马的大道跟公路。那么后来的这些景教徒，聂斯多流的，他们就沿着丝路沿路来传播福音。
Do you remember the Moravians?
那么记得这个摩拉维亚弟兄们吗？
Basically, this is now in the 1600s.
那这时候已经快转到1600年了年代。
And they too would go out as groups, and they would take their businesses that they had, they would settle in a community, and then they would hire people to come in and work with them.
这些摩拉维亚弟兄们，他们也是一样，就带着自己的工作技能，然后到了一个地方，他就是建立一个社区，然后会聘请当地的人来为他们工作。
So when I'm working in there, and I'm a Moravian, right, and I'm hammering, and I hit my thumb, they get to see how I react when I hit my thumb.
所以我在这些摩拉维亚弟兄们，他们在工作的时候，比方说在做木工，我敲到我的手指头他们当地的人也会看到我会怎么反应。
So the people got to observe Christianity on an everyday basis, not just in a church, but now in the working environment.
所以当地的人其实他们可以看到这个活生生的基督徒，他们怎么样生活，不只是在教堂的建筑里头。
So fast forward now to the early 1800s, and actually till the 1955, the Basel, it's a German mission, the Basel Mission Society was doing the same thing, very holistic type of ministry.
那么1815年一直到1955年那个瑞士那边的巴瑟会也是跟摩拉维亚弟兄会很像，他们借着营商，借着建立社区来把信息带过去。
And so they had orphanages, they planted churches, they had businesses. It's very, very broad in what they did.
所以他们有他们的生意，他们也有孤儿院，然后做很多各样的不同的侍奉。
One of the classic books, an earlier book written on what we're calling now Business as Mission, was William Danker's book. Notice the title on that, Prophet for the Lord.
那还有一本是比较早期的一个著作就是 William Danker 写的， 那你看它的题目，它叫做为主盈利。
So he would say then that the economic activities proved to be the base and nucleus of the largest and strongest congregations of both groups, the Moravians and the Mennonites.
他这边就讲到说，不管是这个摩拉维亚弟兄会或者是门诺会的这些信徒，他们借着经济的活动，证明是建立教会建立坚强的这个教会会众的一个最核心的基础。
So those new churches were able to stand on their own economically because of this type of business and so forth. They could start their own, or they could work with those existing businesses, and that would be the backbone support for the churches that are there.
Yeah, 所以这种营商的宣教的方式，变成在我们刚刚所讲到的19世纪一直到20世纪，其实都已经有这些团体把营商宣教当作是宣教的一个骨干。
Danker will go on to say that non-Western churches will never become truly indigenous until they are economically supported from where? Without? No, within their own lands.
这个书上也说，这些非西方的教会，他们不可能完全的本色化，除非他们有一天他们的经济是完全什么靠内部的他们自己的土地自己的人所供应的。
In too many situations, missionaries have said, well, they're very poor people. We will help give them money to build churches, or we'll just build the church for them.
很多时候，外面的这个宣教士常常会去到这些落后的地区，他们就说：“哎呀，他们太穷了，那我们帮他们盖教会好了。”
Danker's arguing, no, let them become strong indigenous churches by doing that by themselves, earning money to be able to build their own buildings.
那 Danker 就很强烈的反对这种做法。他说不要，应该要让他们自己在那个自己的土地上面用双手做工，然后来支持自己。
Do you remember David Livingstone and worked in Africa?
那这位是非洲的宣教之父大卫李文斯敦。
And one of the missions used to talk about we Christianize people and we civilize people. We give them clothes and we teach them about Christianity. So we do the 2 C's.
在他那个时代，教会常常说有2个 C， 一个是把他们基督化，一个是让当地人文明化。
And Livingstone says, no, that's not sufficient. We need 3 C's.
李文斯敦说不够，还要有第3个 C。
We need commercializing as well.
我们要把它 commercialize， 意思就是说把它们商业化。
So yeah, we can civilize them. We want to Christianize them, but we also want them to have their own means to support themselves, so they become strong, like Danker was saying.
那么他这个地方就是大卫李文斯敦就说不行，我们应当要教他们一些这个做生意或是建立这样的一个商业平台，让他们可以能够自立自养。
We're now in the 18th century.
接下来已经到了这个第18世纪。
And we'll be in Ireland.
那这个地方是在爱尔兰。
And the water is not real clean there.
你看到在爱尔兰那边的水不太干净。
Would anybody like to drink that water?
你想要喝那个脏脏的水吗？
And so because they couldn't drink the water, guess what? They made alcoholic beverages, right?
因为这个水不干净，所以他们怎么办呢？他们就酿啤酒。
And so even the pregnant ladies were drinking only alcoholic beverages.
那么当时的即便是妇女也都是一样，他们喝的都是含有酒精的饮料。
So that was not a good thing.
那好像不太好的事情啊。
Then there was a man called Guinness, Mr. Guinness, Arthur Guinness.
那这个是Arthur Guinness， 就是金氏世界纪录的那个 Guinness。
And his prayer was, God, do something about the drunkenness of all the streets of Ireland.
他当时的祷告说：上帝啊，求你在这些充满了醉酒的这个爱尔兰的街道上面行件大事吧。
Make a drink that men, and that would include women back in the day, men and women will drink that would be good for them.
他说：求主，你帮我们造一种饮料，是这个男女喝了都是对他们有好处的。
And what do you think Guinness's solution was?
那后来他的解决之
Some of
道
you
是什么
know. There we go. There we go. That was his solution. There wasn't as much alcohol then in it as there is today, but it was a very healthy drink compared to what they were drinking.
Yeah， 他这个应该比较接 ，is that malt？
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah.
黑麦汁那一种的，所以它酒精的成分没有那么高。
And very stout.
让你喝了很健康、很强壮。
Later on, influenced by Hudson Taylor, one of the Guinness descendants decided to use some of those funds to build a college to train people to go to China to do the work there.
那么后来这个 Guinness 因为受到这个戴德生的影响，有一个这个 Guinness 他的后代呢就建了一个学院，就是专门要训练宣教士，要准备派往中国去。
Any more contemporary contributors?
那么更近代的有没有哪一些在营商宣教上面很有贡献的人呢？
There was kind of a very quiet period of time, is referencing to business's mission, kind of just silent. There wasn't a lot that new stuff happening at that point.
那么这个之后好像有一段比较安静的一个时段时间，这段时间就比较少再听到有什么营商宣教的这些故事。
So now let's move to the 20th century.
一直到20世纪。
How many have heard that book or read that book? There we go. God's Smuggler.
大家知道这本书吗？上帝的走私者，走私圣经的。
And Brother Andrew would take Bibles, sew them in his jackets, hide them in his suitcases, and then he would take those Bibles into Russia, which was closed. And that's how he would enter closed countries. They would try to hide Bibles and take them in and get them in there safely and distribute them.
那这安德烈弟兄就是很有名的，他就是常常把圣经呢缝在他的衣服里面啊，藏在什么皮箱里面啊，就是把它走私运到就是以前的苏联当时还是铁幕的国家。
So that was a major way of trying to enter closed countries is by just carrying in the goods and not get caught. So the book is about all those times they almost got caught and sometimes did get caught.
那么他这本书《上帝的走私者》，他就是记载了很多他偷运圣经进铁幕国家的故事，有些是几乎被抓那也有几次是真的已经被抓了。
So this is the mid-60s. 1960s.
那这是差不多在1960年代。
By the time we get to the late 70s, people were saying, "No, you don't have to sneak things in to try to get Bibles in there. There's another way we can do this."
那么到70年代的时候，就开始有人说，不用这样偷偷摸摸的用走私的，还有更好的方式可以进去。
So J. Christie Wilson wrote the book then Today's Tent Makers.
那后来这个 J. Christie Wilson 他在 1979年的时候就写了一本书，说《今日的织帐篷》。
And he went to Afghanistan.
他是去到阿富汗。
Yeah. And you can imagine Afghanistan at that time compared to even today.
可以想象是1979年时候的阿富汗了，现在都已经很紧张了。想想79年的时候。
He says we're going to start a school.
他说我们要去那边开一个学校。
He saw that as a need. The government allowed him to do that, so he began a school.
因为他看到了一个需要，而且当地的政府也允许，所以他就大胆的就进行这个计划。
And sometimes the government would crack down on them, and they'd have to be a little silent for a while, and then things would open up again. And so they used the school as a means to talk to the students about what Christianity is all about.
当然有时候情势会比较紧张哈，但是他就是用这个合法的一个学校的平台可以教导他们的学生关于福音。
Now we get to 1987, and Ted Yamamori, who was then the president of Food for the Hungry, wrote the book God's New Envoys.
1987年这位 Yamamori， 这不知道三本吗？先生他写了这个上帝的新的大使。
So notice he changed the term from tent maker to new envoys.
就他就把这个织帐篷者的这样的一个称号，他把它做了一个改变，他称他们为新的一个使者。
And let me reintroduce you to Ruth Siemens. She was the one I invited to class, and she is the one who started the first tent maker organization.
那这位女士呢是 Ruth Siemens， 那她是我当时邀请到 Biola 大学来教这个织帐篷事工的。
And she called it global opportunities.
当时她称呼这个叫做全球的机会。
And one of the things they did was collect all the jobs. Let's say Afghanistan again. What are the job openings that are there? What are the requirements that you have to be able to do those jobs? How much do the jobs pay? And then you have contact people that you could go to.
那么当时他就到处收集这些在工厂上面的一些工作的机会，比方说他在阿富汗有什么样的工作，那大概月薪多少，然后需要什么条件。他就开始做这种媒合的工作。
So if I wanted to go to Saudi Arabia, I would just look Saudi Arabia, types of jobs, and then I would have all that information right there, just handy.
那如果我要去沙特阿拉伯，一样我就上他的网站，然后打进去那个我会做什么样的工作，当地需要有什么技能就做这个媒合，马上就可以知道。
So now their term is just intent.org.
那它的网站的名称叫做 intent.org.
This one came out really recent. I forgot the year on here because my little thing is not working over here. It should have my info, but it doesn't. Yeah. And this is by Arlene Richardson, Don Richardson's son, and his wife. And he is the head of Pioneers.
OK， 那这本书我忘记它是哪一年出的哈。那你如果认得右边那位弟兄就是 Don Richardson 的儿子，那他们后来是负责一个差会叫 Pioneers， 跟他的妻子哈。
So Arlene is the one who really did this, and because this was in Indonesia, and the Christian people were getting persecuted. And so she created these jobs in sewing and different things for the Christian women so that they would have a means to make some income.
当时主要是他的太太 Arlene Richardson， 她在主持这样的工作她是特别是在服侍印尼的一些穆斯林归主的基督徒，因为他们会受逼迫，所以。阿琳就帮他们想一些办法，比方说用缝纫机做一些缝纫手工可以卖钱可以支持自己。
Then the Muslim women said, "Why did you just give them the jobs? We want some jobs too."
那个附近的社区的这些穆斯林妇女说，为什么只训练他们呢？我们也需要工作啊。
And so she's thinking, yeah, that would be good. So we'll hire Muslims to come in and work, and those Christian women have all day sitting beside them to talk to them.
所以后来他就说，这样也对啊。那所以他就让他的工厂，他的这个缝纫工厂呢，也雇一些穆斯林的妇女，然后就让基督徒妇女跟这些穆斯林妇女就一起坐两隔壁，然后他们可以有分享，可以分享他们的见证。
So go online and look up Heartcraft and buy lots of stuff.
然后你可以上网去这个 Heartcraft 啊，你可以买到很多他们的产品。
What are some of the different terms that are used to capture this?
那我们来看看，现在在讨论这个营商宣教这个主题的时候，有哪一些名词
？You have mission through business.
这个它英文有很多的讲究哈，它说叫 mission through business， 通过营商来宣教。
And business for blessing, that's what that is. Business for blessing.
B for B 大概就是business for blessing 营商来祝福。
And kingdom business.
或者说这个天国的事业。
And business for transformation.
你也看到 B for T 就是business for transformation 更新变化。
Business for blessing is an interesting one. She worked in, I think, Singapore for Intel for about 17 years.
那个 B for B 的这个好像是一个姐妹，她在新加坡的 Intel 这家公司大概工作了17年。
And she's very talented in the business world, and she was in training. And so after she retired, she decided, I'm going to work in business as mission. But she's going to do it in a very unique way. And you'll have to stay till the end to find out what that unique way really is.
那这个姐妹呢，她是在这个 Intel 里面，她是管训练的，然后是一个高阶主管。那她后来就是想要用她的技能去到另外一个国家去做这个做生意，然后能够祝福那个地方的人。那你要知道她要怎么祝福当地的人，你要眼睛张开，要醒过来，做到这个结束的时候。OK， 我们这一堂就先讲到这边哈，这个是这一堂是到2点55分，我们休息一下，到3点10分的时候再回来第二堂。